Alrighty, I believe we are live now. Give me 1 second. Let me check everything. Everything should be good. Alrighty. So yep, it looks like everything's good. So last stream we all came all the way over here to Eterna City. I forgot the name of the city. Came all the way to Eterna City. Got the underground, the Grand Underground available to us. Excuse me. Shoot. And so now we're gonna do some shiny hunting in the underground. So now we have a little bit more of a choice of what we run into instead of just doing it randomly. So that is that's the plan for now. Continuing there, hopefully we'll get better luck. I know Shinx are still pretty rare down there anyways. So let's go ahead and do that. And you know, let's talk about some stuff that obviously you can kind of tell it's a little bit different now. My overlay, I changed it, moved things around. I have a sub goal at the bottom. Those are my subscribers. I have 22 subscribers. I want to get 50 by the end of the year. So in like what, 3 months? 2 months. There's 3 with the October as well. So that's the goal. I'm almost halfway there. 3 more, I'm halfway there, and then we're well, I just want to get that, and then we'll do that. I'll update it whenever we get the 50, or keep it there for the rest of the year, for next year, whatever happens. But here we go. We're gonna use the spatial. We need a spacious cave to get Shinx, and also change the thumbnail to the video. And I actually already have my next thumbnail, which I actually really like. And whenever more people, if people come into the stream, I'll show it on stream, so you guys can see the thumbnail, because I really like how it turned out. And hopefully, like, I know shiny hunting, you don't want to spend too much time with it, but I want to get at least like a couple episodes with this thumbnail, because I really like it. But when more people come in, I'll show it. But yeah, so obviously the biggest thing on change is obviously that I have my Twitter and my Instagram handle at the bottom, and you guys can go follow me on there. I also have a Discord that's in the description. I know there's a way you can do it, so where you can do it in the chat, where you do, I think, Discord ! It pops it up. But for now, I don't really want to push the Discord too hard, because I don't have it fully moderated yet, so I don't want any shenanigans going on. But but obviously the real biggest thing is my PNG character is moving his mouth, and I'm not doing it like live how I usually do it, like for videos. I'm actually I have a software running for it to recognize my voice, and whenever I talk, it recognizes it. But the only problem is, if anybody, like, for instance, if I clap, obviously my mouth opens, which isn't ideal whenever like stuff around. But like, you know, it's not the biggest deal for now. I didn't want to do the whole facial recognition thing. So yeah, that's what we have. And I also have a different emotion, so if I get more annoyed, that's what I want to do. So there we go. I want to add more things to it, more emotions, try to make it as deep as possible, make it look as most effort. This is what I was doing today. I wasn't planning on streaming today, but me finishing the overlay. Oh, there's a Shinx. Me finishing the overlay, the new thumbnail, getting the other thumbnail done, and just getting my character to be able to talk really motivated me to continue. I was really excited to stream, so I decided I was gonna take today off, but I decided to just do a quick little stream. I'll probably just go to maybe 1 in the morning. It's an hour and 20 minutes. So that's the plan for now. And I'm gonna try I lost my train of thought. Well, I guess they're doing it underground because we have the possibility. It doesn't really happen as much anymore because there's not many people playing the game as much anymore, I don't believe. Because I don't think people like this game too much. So let me see. Usually around this area, if you leave and come back, I know Grassland Caves also has Shinx in here. So we're just gonna go through here. Run through these. May fight some Digletts, hopefully. I believe I went to internet, right? I didn't collect any. But yeah. So right now we're gonna continue doing the shiny hunt until I get some viewers in chat. Whenever somebody comes through, who knows? Maybe I got some stories to tell. I didn't talk about what happened at my job with the argument with my boss. You know, I know yesterday, Kay came in. And they were talking, but they kind of caught me at the very end of the stream, and I was really tired. And today I knew I was gonna have a busy day, so I didn't stay too much long after she came in. After they came in, sorry. After they came in, I stayed maybe I think like 20-30 minutes more, just talking to them, and yeah. But today it's kind of the same thing. And this time I am streaming tomorrow, so today's gonna be a shorter stream. And hopefully we get a better chance. I feel like I'm running to less Shinx down here, but it could also just be that I'm just running to less Pokemon. So I think just coming in here to this side door, coming over here, going back, I'll probably show you the best possibilities right there. Absolutely. So yeah. So yeah. This is just gonna be the route right here. Just do this repeat over again, and hopefully not spend too much time on the Shinx still, because I want to switch up my thumbnail. This is my other thumbnail. I also have, I guess something you guys can't see is I also have alerts on my stream now, so if anybody subscribes, becomes a member, donates, or anything like that, which the donation I don't think I didn't set up yet. I didn't want to set it up because I don't think I need to set it up yet. But I think you can just still send super chats though, regardless of donation or donations. So I didn't set it up, but it's on there. So if I get any new subscribers, I know it probably would have been better to have it 2 streams ago when you separate all their friends over. Why all the shit? What's up with Shinx is being so fucking rare? It's so annoying. Actually, let me do something real quick, because I do need to I can't even speak right now. One of the other Pokemons I wanna shiny hunt is in here too, and I'm running to them more often. So I think what I'm gonna do is, give me 1 second. I'm going to add image Chimchar Pokemon hunting. Let's do second hunting, just looking quick. What was YouTube, Pokemon Sprites, Gen 4 Shiny, and we need this one. There we go, then we put it in the right spot. So this would be save that. Ready. Let me sorry for the not so entertaining and fatty. What is it? Second. Counter 0. Okay. Do it this side. Actually, we'll do this. What kind of move it? Oh, I know why. It's a lot. Move that over. Right there. So now we have 2 of them starting up. So we'll do a double shiny hunt on the same fucking console. Since if we're not running into that many Shinx, we'll probably run into more Badu. So yeah, we'll go ahead and do that. Primarily we're going for Shinxes, but if we see a Badu, well, oh there we go. So you got that split devil. Here's gonna be shiny. Now that I set it all up. I lied. Oh, that's what I forgot to do. I was trying to remember what I was. I feel like I was doing something. And I didn't set up the counter, the one where I can just press a button to set up. So I didn't have to do it manually, but it's not that big of a deal. So yeah, if I see a Badu, I can't speak its name. I'll run into it to see if I get it. Oh shit. Alright, there we go. Good you. Let me move my mic real quick. Sorry about that. Here we go. Here you go, 509. But yeah, I think I'm gonna probably just stream to 1 in the morning, or until I get to 550. 50 per stream until I'm able to stream earlier in the day. I'll be good enough for that. Oh, but I don't want to fight Shinx. Alrighty, just continue the grind. Nothing much to do here. If I get the shiny, Badoo, I'm gonna be pissed. Two Shinx. Shiny Shinx, come on. Okay, let's continue on the grind. Eventually, if I get people who I feel comfortable with talking, I feel like it would be a good idea to just have them in the Discord call, and I can just chat with them and just have a conversation going, you know, so it's not always dead air. Tough. Yeah, I think that'll be the plan for the future. I guess technically I can also fight. I can evolve. To fighting if I want, because everybody here is based on the level of your Pokemon. Here we go, Shinx. Still no. I got really lucky with getting like 3 Shinxes in 5 minutes. That's pretty lucky, even though it's not that lucky. Yeah, there's not that many people playing this game as much anymore. Because I remember having the Diglett shiny race happen a lot. It's a lot hotter in my room right now. I don't know why. Oh, phew. Tired. I guess I can talk about some stuff so it's not dead air. Today, like I said, I worked on all this stuff. I got a thumbnail made for the other one, or the Shinx. And also ended up recording the first episode of Terraria. I recorded roughly around an hour, but I feel like I can shave it down to around like 15 minutes. Because a lot of it's like just not silent, but not important stuff. So it's gonna be pretty easy to shave it down. What I think I'm gonna start doing is I'm gonna start streaming that too, so it's not just pure streaming. I don't keep streaming Pokemon all the time. I feel like it's a big burnout. But yeah, those are the Shinx, 2 in a row. That's pretty lucky. Still not shiny though. Oh, there's someone in chat. Give me 1 second. Okay. Welcome to the stream. You can probably see there's been a slight changes in the stream layout. As you can see, I actually have my little character in the corner matching with my when I talk. Had any luck with the Shinx? No, still no luck with the Shinx. I've only gotten a couple encounters since I started this. Still no luck, but I am gonna get I am gonna try to get Roserade eventually too. And Roserade, oh the Badu is also here. So I decided to just shiny hunt both of them because they're both in the same cave. But yeah, I made the overlay a little bit smaller on the corner for the Pokeballs to have more space. For the sub goal, my Twitter and Instagram handles. The chat, I took off the box. I feel like having the box, I kind of made it look cluttered. So I took off the box, and then I added. I finally went ahead and just put in the effort to putting my little character in the corner actually talk with me instead of just being a static image. You say it looks good. Thank you. Thanks for that. I know it was something really. I said yesterday I wasn't gonna stream today, but I got a lot of things done. I got a new thumbnail for the Shinx streams. I made a new thumbnail for another stream I have planned in the future for the next Pokemon, which was supposed to be Magikarp. Just simple but effective, yeah. I made a new thumbnail for the next shiny hunt, which is the Magikarp that I got made, and I can show you it because it's already on my computer. If I got finished earlier today, and yeah, I really liked it. So just doing that, yeah, getting the 2 thumbnails done, having the overlay, and then having the character be able to talk with me, just like really motivated. Like I got really excited to stream, so I was like, I'll just stream today. I ended up doing most of the work earlier on the day, so I took a quick nap at 4 p.m. to get energy up for the stream. But I can show you the thumbnail and get your opinion. I really like the thumbnail. Let me see. It would be an image. Let me just put it for image. Where is it? It's right here. This is gonna be the thumbnail for. Let me put it a little smaller. I'll put it right here. That's the thumbnail I had planned. I had noticed I worked gym and now cleaning my house. Yeah, that's. Today I didn't work. That's the only reason why I took a nap. Was today I didn't work. So I didn't work. So I finished all the homework and all my work that I had to do. Went to the gym and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna stream today. So I took a quick little nap. But yeah, most of the time, life just has you fucking grinding, so you don't have time. But yeah, he said, oh, you said it was it looks nice. Yeah, yeah, I got it done pretty earlier in the day. Like having that done, like for the next stream, it's one of this is the most effort I put into a thumbnail. So I could say it really motivated me to want to stream again. It really motivated me to catch this freaking Shinx so I can use the thumbnail. Because I have the thumbnail, I'll get rid of it real quick. It's in the way. just because I have the thumbnail doesn't mean, you know, I'm gonna use it, because I'm still hunting the Shinx. But yeah, that's why I decided to stream today. I ended up recording a video earlier today too, and I was like, I'm on the grind, might as well continue it at the end of the night. But yeah, so today I'm not gonna go as long today. I think maybe till 1, maybe an hour from now I might continue, but for now today's gonna be a shorter stream, so I do plan on doing a longer stream tomorrow, which it might be half Terraria, half Pokemon. So I don't want to stream too much today and then feel kind of burned out for tomorrow. So I just do a quick one. I have to get fresh oh, I can't try to remember from this Psyduck. So I have to get a shiny kitty first, then shiny fish. Yeah, that's kind of funny. You have to get the cat first, then I get the fish. But yeah, then I guess we got a shiny Bidoof. No, I always get confused with this freaking Pokemon's name. It always comes out like Bidoof, but I know that's not how you say it. It's Bidoof, but I always mess it up. But yeah, hopefully I get this Shinx pretty soon, so I can. Oh, something about the character. I was able to add more emotions too. So if I'm playing this game and, you know, I'm an hour deep and the Shinx is annoying me, I can, you know, be upset. I don't have to always be happy. Because something that I did like about it is if I get tired of the Shinx, I can just be mad. And I'm planning on adding more emotions to it, but for now all I have is just regular and annoyed. I have all the other sprites, but I haven't put them into the actual program I have to make me somewhat animated. But how you doing today? Hopefully you're doing good. I know yesterday you said you had a little lack of motivation. Hopefully today you have that motivation to push through and get everything you have done. I know, at least for me, I don't think I changed the encounter rate, but I know recently I've been having, I want to say motivational problems, but just the lack of willing to work. Not because I don't want to work, or like I'm tired of the work. It's just the job in general is getting kind of tiresome. It's a lot of problems at the workplace, and it's kind of like, it seems that they could have been avoided before. They could have been avoided to prevent all these problems, but now we're here. We have to deal with all these problems with these people. Like, if you don't mind me venting, I can tell you the story of what's been going on for the last like week and a half of work. I feel that sometimes the job gets repetitive and you get over dealing with it. Yeah, like it's been for the same job right now for a year and a half, and like literally for the first I would say a year, and I've been here a year and a half, so a year and 1/4. It was fine, I was all cool, but then recently, like it's been more of a drag to get to work. Like, I go to work, before I would go there, be excited, not excited to go to work, but just be like, all right, time to go to work. Time to do that. But recently it's like, fuck, I gotta go to work. See, I've been away all years. Alright, by then you start getting annoyed. Remember, I asked you first. But so recently, let's see, where does it start? Alright, I believe I talked about a little bit the stream before you and your friends came over. So I'm gonna just use for the job, for the pay, I'm gonna use like minimum wage. Like, the ratio is gonna be the same, but it's not gonna be the same numbers. So let's say the entry level pay for the job is $14. Because I live in California, and for small businesses, that's what the minimum wage is $14. So right? It's just $14. So I joined the company, I joined the business, and I'm paying $14. That's fine. And then within a year, I'm getting paid $14.50, 5. I don't know why the 5 cents are there, but I got paid. So like, okay, cool. They said they appreciate. I'm assuming they appreciate the work I've been doing. Whatever. Cool. And then maybe now that's a year in, maybe a year and like 2 months in, almost the full time. I was told like by the boss. It wasn't in the office. It wasn't like a meeting. It was like a passing comment, being like, "Hey, I'm gonna go ahead and give you a raise to $15 flat, because I've been taking on more responsibilities." So we have we have 2 managers, a head manager, and then an assistant manager, and then we have 4 shift leaders. The 4 shift leaders are the 2 managers that I mentioned prior, and then another guy and me, right? So that's what it is. So I'm not a manager. I'm a shift manager. So like if I'm clocked in, and none of the other 2 actual managers are there, I'm technically in charge, which is fine. I get more responsibilities, but in my head, I'm like, okay, I'm getting paid $15 an hour, a whole dollar extra than everybody else who's entry level pay, right? Maybe they got a raise here or there, so they get 14 something, but I'm getting most likely being paid $1 more than them. So I should do a little bit more work. So I'm doing, this goes on to recently, like a week and a half ago. I've been thinking in my head, I'm getting paid $1 more. I've been doing more, I've been doing the jobs of the managers. I was doing extra work to be like, you know what, put in the work I get for the $1, and hopefully the guy, my boss, sees like, oh, he's actually working pretty hard, doing extra work, and let's give him a raise, or let's give him some breaks, or something like that. And this 2 weeks ago we got paid. We get paid bi-weekly, and for some reason I put my check in through my app, my banking app, and I put it in right. I get paid. Well, I don't even think anything about it. But then, for some reason, I had the urge to look at the actual stub to see how much I made gross, not just net. So I looked at it, and okay, I made, let's say, like 1,000 something. He said bi-weekly. He said your bi-weekly. Bi-weekly sucks. Yeah, it can be tough, especially if you have like hella expenses, or if you slip up and you waste a good amount of money, you have to wait 2 weeks to get paid. So I look at the pay stub, and I notice that I'm still getting paid $14.50, right? Or $14.55. But actually no, in this pay stub I got paid $14.50. So not only am I not getting paid the $15 I thought I was, somewhere along the lines he dropped the 5 cents off my hourly rate, right? So I was like, okay. But in my head, I was like, did he drop the whole 55? Did he drop 55 cents? Like, I was like, how did I lose? Because in my head, I was still getting paid 15 an hour. So I was like, how did I drop 55 cents? Well, how did I drop 50 cents in this case? Back down to 14.50. And maybe I messed up somewhere along the way. So then I was like, I talked to the other shift manager, because me and him went to school together. So I'm pretty close with him. So I talked to him like, hey. It was like a joking comment, like, hey bro, I lost 50 cents off my paycheck. And he goes, oh, so now you're getting paid $15.50. And like I was like, what? And he was like, yeah. So the thing is, me and him, is it even legal to change your pay with that consulting? That's what I thought. I don't think, but I think it's just more of like it's like nice to tell you like, hey, we're having pay cuts. But I think if it's not contracted work, like, hey, I'm working for $10 an hour for 3 days, like, contract, they can change it however they want. I believe that's when I searched up, that's what I got out of my research of doing it. 'Cause I was like, I'm assuming it's just like common courtesy to be like, oh, I'm cutting your pay, but like I wasn't told anything. So then when he told me like also now you're getting paid $15.50, it kind of like, I was like, what do you mean $15.50? And I was like, now I'm making $14.50. He goes, how much were you getting paid before? And I was like, $15. And in my head, I was thinking I got paid $15. He goes, really? And I was like, I thought you would have been more by now. And I find out that right now, currently, he's making like 17, like 25. So he was potentially making $2 and like a quarter more than I was when I was making the $15 an hour. So then I was like, what? And then me and him are doing the exact same work. So like, it's not like me comparing myself to a manager. It's me comparing myself to another shift manager. And I was like, okay, so me and him aren't doing the same amount of work as the actual two managers and the assistant manager. So if they get paid more than us, that's fine. But me and my friend, we're literally doing the same amount of work, like, because we don't work at the same time. We only work the same day on Friday. But he covers the first 3 days. He covers Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I do Thursday, Saturday, Sunday, right? The only Fridays we work together. So it's more of like he covers one day and I cover the other half of the week. So we're always splitting up the work. So we share the same responsibilities. So I was like, okay, so we're doing the same amount of work, but he's getting paid $2.25 more. And I was like, okay, I think he's been here half a year longer. So I'm doing my year and a half barely right now. I think next month is my year and a half. And he's going to go on, next month is his 2 year. So he's only been there for 6 months longer than me. So I was like, I don't think a 6 month difference is that big of a difference where someone's making $2 more than someone else who's doing the same job. Right? So then I'm like, what the heck? So then I pulled out my other, so that was the next day after I put in my check. And that was on a Sunday. So Mondays and Tuesdays I usually get off. He said, well, I was getting ripped off. Yeah, so it gets worse. So then on Sunday I went. That's when I talked to him. Found out he's making $2 more than what I thought I was making. So then on Monday I come back home, and I look through my other pay stubs. So I keep all my pay stubs, and apparently, it's seen right now. It was good. So I keep all my pay stubs. I have all my pay stubs. So I pull them all. They're all in order. So I just pulled them out, and I looked at all of them. I started from the beginning. I see in my first 6 months, 6 to 7 months, I was getting paid $14 an hour, which makes sense. I was starting off. He was testing me out, seeing if I was a good worker. Holy shit, I'm getting chased by 3 Pokemon. So that's whatever. But then I recall him telling me 3 times I was gonna get raises, right? So the first raise was, so I always keep my pay slips in day order. Exactly. You always gotta keep it on you, just for this situation, other situations similar. So I pull them up in order, and I can see I made $14 an hour for 6.5 months, and then I get my first raise to 14. Oh, we have someone. Oh, damn. Give me 1 second. Alright. Let me handle that real quick before we continue our story. Alright, so I removed them. It's still on my chat here. Yeah, so I timed them out, but then I also just took them off. Yeah, the damn bots, you made it when you got bought. I made it now, I got bots. But yeah, I was about to say oh, we got someone else, but then I read the first line, oh, never mind, we don't have someone else. But where was I? So I was going through my pay stubs, seeing my raises. So 6 months in, I got my first 25-cent raise, cool. And then 3 months later, that 6 month, one of the major workers had left to a different company or left different job. So then he was like, oh, can you cover her shifts? And so I was like, oh, I'm still kind of new, but if you want me to, I'll cover for you. So then I ended up taking more responsibilities, and that's when he goes, you know what, we'll give you another raise. And we'll give you another raise. So now I'm getting paid. Now I see 3 months after I got my first raise, I'm getting paid $14.55, and it's been so now it's 9 months. So for the next 7 months, no, not even 7 months, because what, 9 months? The next 9 months, I was still getting paid $14.55. But then I remember that somewhere along the line, maybe 3 months ago or so, from today, maybe like 2 months, at the most 3 months, he told me he was gonna raise me to $15 an hour. So then I'm looking through my pay stubs, looking like, okay, when did I get that raise? So I can show him like, hey, how come I lost my 50 cents? And what I found out is he told me he was gonna give me a raise, but he never did. So I don't know if he forgot or if he said it and then he like went through the books and he was like, oh crap, we can't afford to give someone a raise. I don't know what happened, but I was told I was gonna get paid $15 an hour. And then I never looked through the pay stubs. Like, you know, I just assumed, I was told, oh, you'll get a raise, so I just assumed I was getting a raise. But instead of I can't even, instead of like looking at my pay stub, like, okay, I'm getting my raise, I just assumed I was getting the raise. And then also what happened was, at that time I also started getting I started getting more hours. So my check, let's say with how much hours I worked, I would make $800 for 2 weeks. Let's say roughly with this ratio. Now I started making like 900 to 1,000, following the ratio with the numbers I gave out. Right? So like it wasn't because I was working more. It wasn't because I was getting paid more. It was because I was working more. So I was like, oh, okay. So I just assumed it was because I was getting paid more. But then I was looking through his pay stubs and I actually noticed I never got a raise. So now it hit me that for the last 9 months, when I was thinking I was making $15 an hour, taking up all these responsibilities, that people who are getting paid more. So even if I was getting $15 an hour, the other person who's doing the same job as I was making $2.25 more than I was. So not only, but then that's if I was making $15 an hour. But since I'm still making $15 or $14.50, they're actually making $2.75. No, $3 more than me. Yeah, $3 more than me, roughly around there. So now I'm just like, okay. Not only was I taking on extra responsibility, I was covering people's shifts, coming in early, and I was like, damn. And in my head, I was like, and the thing is, recently, like before all this happened, like a month or so ago, I started taking on the responsibilities of the actual managers, right? The only thing I don't do is do the schedules. Like, I don't actually make the schedules. Like, I won't go into the computer, change people's shift around. I don't do that. That's only the actual manager, the head manager does that. And not even the assistant manager does that. But everything else, you know, dealing with customers, dealing with anything that went wrong with a customer, dealing with the money, counting money, anything like that, I also did. Even though I'm not supposed to, but this is in my head. I was like, oh, you know what? I'm getting paid more. I'm trying to make, like, show him that, you know what? I'm trying to make it up or do more work so that people, like, so he sees that I'm actually want to put in the effort and get more, you know, get my raises and stuff. Because I'm not shy. I'm not gonna be like, oh, I'm just gonna keep working. Like, if I'm like, hey, you know, I've been working so much, can I get a raise? Like, that was the plan, right? But then this happened, so I'm like, I haven't even got my first raise. So for the last week and a half, I've been like really like just demotivated to not even, like, I haven't missed a day of work, but I go to work, and it's just like, it's not like, it used to be like somewhat fun to go to work, talking to my coworkers whenever I can, or just dealing with the people I deal with usually at work. It was usually fun, but now it's just like dead. And it's been like a real drag. He said, hope you get your pay raise, and it sucks managing and getting what everyone else gets. Yeah. And then the thing is, I was talking to the other shift manager, my friend, and someone else overheard that one of my other coworkers was getting paid, like, I think they're getting like paying $14.25, like a little bit more than the basic, but they're still getting paid relatively close. They're getting paid close to me, a quarter less than me now. And they overheard me talking. They're like, oh, what are you guys talking about? And I didn't really want to be like, I didn't want to just air out all this, like, hey, yeah, I'm getting paid this, this, and this. And they're like, oh, and but the other shift manager, my friend, he was like, oh, me and him are talking about his hourly. And he goes, oh, how much do you get paid? And I was like, oh, I get paid, like, you know, a little bit more than minimum wage. I didn't want to like just air it out to them. But he was like, no, he's getting paid $14.50. And then the other girl who gets paid $14.25 was like, what the heck? Why you getting paid so little? And then she told us that the head manager, and this is when it all kind of synced in, like how much work I'm doing for a little pay I'm getting. So with the ratio I gave out, say I'm getting $14.50, right? Like with the ratio, it's, I don't like to give it the actual numbers, but like with the ratio speaking, if I'm getting paid $14.50, the head manager is making around like 22 an hour. So they're getting 22 an hour compared to my $14.50 an hour. And at this point now we're doing the same work except for doing the schedules. So I would do stuff that she would do, like on my own accord, to like, I'm taking on more responsibilities. And then eventually it turned to me not just doing it on my own accord. He would ask me to do it. Be like, hey, can you do this? So now he would ask me to do these jobs that only the manager would do. He would ask me to do them too. So it wasn't only like, if I like started doing them on my own, and then he didn't tell me to do anything, that'd be different. Cause like, oh, you kind of decided to do it, so that's kind of your fault. But after I did it a couple times, he noticed I'm actually good at it, and I could do it. He would ask me once in a while, or the actual manager would be like, hey, I don't want to do this, can you do it? So I ended up doing a lot of that work, right? Which is, it's alright, but in my head, I'm getting paid more than I am. So roughly they're making around what, $8 more than me, and then the assistant manager is making around $20 an hour with this ratio, $2 less than the actual manager. And then the other shift manager, my friend, is making $17.25, roughly around there. So I'm like, the reason why we found out the manager's wage is because the girl that overheard us knows their wage, and she goes, oh, so you're barely making $14.50 when they're making $20 and $22. And that's when it really hit me, like, damn. Like, I'm assuming the reason why, and like I was getting more hours. Like I would get usually I would get 40-hour work weeks, but at some points I'll be hitting like 45 to 48 hours a week, which is some overtime. But I was always wondering why he always gave me extra hours. But then after realizing what was going on, it was because I was doing the same amount of work, the same quality of work as the other shift managers and the managers, but for literally like almost half the pay. Like it made sense. Like my overtime pay was barely like him paying me overtime was like paying the actual manager like just a regular hourly. So it was just like he was cutting costs by not giving her the job and by giving me all the work. And I was like, damn. And I've talked to him about it, and I asked him, first of all, hey, how come you dropped? So now me knowing that I never got the additional 45-cent raise to get to the $15 an hour, I went to his office when it wasn't that busy, and I was like, hey, how come this previous paycheck I got dropped 5 cents? Did I mess up somewhere? Did I do something wrong? And he told me, I don't know why you dropped 5 cents on this paycheck. He goes, next time around, well, I'll put you back up where you're supposed to be. And that's when I was like, he goes, oh, where you're supposed to be? So I was like, so I don't know if you remember, but like 3 months ago or so, like 2 months at this point, 2 maybe 3 at the most, you told me that you were gonna give me a raise to raise me up to $15 an hour. Like, do you remember that? Or I was like, maybe I heard wrong, but like I remember because I even told my parents about it. I was like, oh, I'm getting, because they asked me how much you're getting paid. I was like, oh, I'm getting paid $14.55. But the other day my boss told me, and I asked them, like, do you guys remember me telling you about that? And they're like, yeah, I remember you telling me about it. So I'm like, it wasn't me just like thinking it happened. So I tell him, and he's just like, he's like telling me he doesn't remember that. And I was like, oh, well, do you think it'll be possible for me to get it now? And I told him the same thing, like, oh, and I told him like I knew how much everybody else was making. So I was like, well, if I'm doing the same amount of work as my friend here, I should at least be getting, like, if he's getting paid $17.50 or $17.25, But I personally think that it would only be fair since we're doing the same amount of work. At least 1650, right? Like I've been here for almost 2 years now. I feel like it's fair to say, you know, I've earned that much. And if he's earned that much, I feel like I've probably earned not as much as him, but at least somewhat close. And then he was kind of like, he wasn't avoiding the question, but he was like, oh well, you know, it's not, I can't just say yes, because then I have to check into the books, and I have to make sure we can afford it, this, and I was like, alright. Then once he started talking about all that, I was kind of just like, I don't think I'm gonna get it. I think at this point, I just like tell him, alright, can you look into it for me, and just walk away and just continue working. So then that's why I told him, like, okay, like, would you mind seeing if it's possible? And I don't even want like a 16 at this point. Can I just get paid the 15 that he told me at one point? And he was like, oh, I'll look into it. I'll see if we can afford it, how much, you know, whatever. And I was like, okay, cool. At this point, I was like, this is like towards the beginning of the work week still, of the work weeks. So the majority of the week, I would be, if he does say yes, I'll be getting paid at $15 an hour. So I was like, but again, in the back of my head, I was like, it's like whenever, because usually like whenever I asked him for other things, he was, oh yeah, for sure, and it usually happens. But this time he was like, no, he never said no, or it's not gonna happen. It always, but like the vibe that he was giving off and all the things he said he had to check, it was kind of just like, yeah, it's not gonna happen. He said, so it's not gonna happen. Yeah, so I'm pretty sure, like, if it happens, you know, great. You know, I'm sorry for thinking all these bad things, thinking like, oh, he's fucking not gonna pay me. I apologize for all that, but like, I'm 99% sure it's not gonna happen. So I was just like, so I told him, alright, can you look in for me? And then I walked out of his office, went back to work. But then this was a week and a half ago. So now it was out the day after my break. So on Wednesday, that's when I asked him. About like mid through my shift. So I had another like 4 hours left. So at this point, everybody in the workplace knows like how much I'm getting paid compared to everybody else. Like, because everybody knows my number, but I don't know theirs except for the three people I learned, my friends and the 2 managers. But everybody knows how much I'm getting paid. So like in their head, and I know this now because they've told me, they're like if you're doing all this work, oh hold up, the Diglett event's going on. Hopefully we get a shiny something. Okay, but so a couple people told me, I was like, well, if you're getting paid this little, I'm getting paid less than you, and you're doing all this work, and you're just considered like an entry level employee. They're like, what does he consider me? Like jokingly, like, well, if you're doing all this work, doing all this, like, you're busting your ass every day at work, and he still considers you an entry level employee, like, he must not think shit about me. And it was funny. They're just trying to cheer me up. Cause I wasn't like, I was upset, but I wasn't like just pouting or anything. I was trying to like, damn. I was more like, I was just serious. I was like, that was me, without like just kind of whatever about it. But I just tend to have in my face, I wouldn't say it's a resting bitch face, but it's more of a resting serious face. Like, it's not. I rarely ever look like this. I don't really ever smile in person. So they're trying to cheer me up with these jokes and stuff, which, you know, it was nice. But then like all these comments started coming out, because I know we have two new girls that are training, right? And one of the girls is having troubles, so he put me onto a trainer, because I got put to train the other. So there's 2 new girls, and I tend to work in the morning on some days, and then night shifts and the rest of the days. But one of the new girls just works pure mornings, so I was in charge of training her, and she did pretty well. She got on pretty quickly, and the other girl was having trouble, right? So, and they asked me if I could train her, and like in this situation, if I say no, like I'll go into more details later about it, but I just said yeah, because the situation was kind of like weird around it. So I was like, yeah, I'll help her. And the boss was watching me train her, And one of the other coworkers came up and was like, "Oh, is he training you?" Talking about me, and she's like, "Oh yeah, he's training me." And this person that was talking, I also happen to train, so they were like, "Oh, he's a really good trainer, but he doesn't get paid enough for this. So enjoy it while you can." Like a little jab, because he was the boss was there, so they said it walking by. "Oh, he's a really good teacher, but he doesn't get paid enough to do it though. So enjoy it while you can." And like I just I just gave a little laugh because it's kind of like, damn, like it's, and like, it's like kind of unfair when even the other employees like, damn, you're really not making that much. Like they're literally like standing up for me for not making more money than them, which is like, it makes me see it as in like, oh, here we go, shy Shinx with the ridiculous. Like if you're trying to root for someone to make more money than you, like you can kind of like tell like how much they're getting paid isn't that fair. So now like everybody knows, everybody like, throws jabs. It's like the running joke at the place right now at the business. It's like, oh, he's not getting paid enough for this. And like recently, I haven't been like doing bad work. I just been doing like the bare minimum. Like I'll do what I need to do. I stopped taking like longer hours, because he would like say on Monday and Tuesday on my days off, he would be like, "Hey, can you come in today?" And usually I'm always like, "Yeah, I'll go in right now. Don't worry about it." But recently I just been like, "Oh, I can't come in. Sorry." And it's like, I'm pretty sure he knows. It's like I told him about, like my raise and all that. And I told him like, I'm doing all this work. I think I should be getting paid more. So, if he kind of puts two and two together, he asked for a raise. I didn't say yes or anything, and he thought he was making so much money, and now he's not. Like, I'm pretty sure it's common sense to connect the dots why I'm not working as much or as hard anymore. But I'm not like messing anything up on purpose. I'm still doing the job correctly and how it's supposed to be done. It's just, yeah, this last week it's been hard to have any motivation to go to work and put in actual effort into the work I do. It's just, and the only thing is, if I leave somewhere else right now, I find another job, it's probably gonna be the same predicament. I'm getting paid. And the only thing I'm going to do is lose the 50 cents I have over the minimum wage here. So I'm just going to drop 50 cents. So I don't see a point of going to find a new job, unless they, publicly say they publicly have a bigger pay. But usually with bigger pay, they have more requirements and all that. And who knows if I fall under those requirements. We said, yeah, it's all like, yeah, it's like, I'll act my wage, yeah. That's literally, that's what I've been telling people. They'll be like, "Hey, can you do this?" And I'm like, "I can't. I don't get paid enough to do that." Because it's all like extra stuff. Like it's all stuff that technically the manager should be doing, or the shift manager, which technically he still has to be under shift manager. But I told everybody else, like I told everybody I was working with, I'm like, "Hey, I'm not gonna be doing as much," and it's not disrespect towards you guys, and I just let them know it's because I'm not getting paid what I think I'm supposed to get paid, so I'm gonna work equivalent to what I am getting paid. Some people come up to me like, "Hey, can you do this for me?" I'm like, "Actually, I can't." And usually, whenever, even while even if it's me and another manager working together, and there's a rude customer, like there's a customer that's a problem, or a rude customer, they send me even though the actual manager is there, right? So whenever like recently we had like 2 rude customers. One was like a rude customer just trying to fight for no reason, and another one was they had a problem, they got upset, so they called me, and they asked me to go help, and I was like, "Hey man, I'm not the manager on the floor right now. Like I just work here." That was the line for the last week and a half. Just like, "I don't know, man," or "I don't know, I just work here." That was literally like that was probably the thing I said the most this week and a half. But like, if it's like helping another employee, I'm gonna do it. I'm not gonna fuck over the other employees just because I'm not getting paid enough. But if the employees, "Hey, can you help me?" Like I told them, I'm not gonna come in on days off unless like if he asks me, I'm like, "No, I can't." But if one of my coworkers like, "Hey, this happened, I can't go to work today, can you come for me?" I'm gonna do it, because I'm not trying to mess up, fuck over my fellow employee, my coworkers, just because of that. Because it's not their fault, they're just just working the same as I am. So if they ask for help, like, hey, how do I do this? I'll help them. But if it's he's telling me like, hey, can you do this? I'm like, nah, I can't. And I told him that I don't mean anything in a disrespectful way, but it's just like I know what you're paying other people to do it, and you don't want to pay me, but you don't pay me the same amount as them, but you expect me to do the same amount of work as they do. And I was like, that seems a little bit disrespectful. I don't know if you don't, you know. That's what I told him. Like, I feel like it's like me saying no to you is less disrespectful than you expecting me to do the same amount of work for less pay. And that's where we are right now. The thing is, so now that is happening all this week, right? And on top of that, like I mentioned earlier, we have 2 new people on the team, right? And I was in charge of training 1. They came in like a month and a half ago. So what happened with them is recently, up to 3 days ago. It's more recent. So a month and a half ago, we got 2 new people. I don't want to give out their names because I'm not trying to dox them or anything. Let's see, let me think of a name. We'll name one Alexis, and then the other one, Nala, right? Somewhat close to their name. So I was in charge of training Nala, right? Because she got most of my shifts in the morning and the nights. Basically every day she worked, I was there with her. And then Alexis got put in. She got in charge. Oh, looks like my stream wants to act up. It's my boss. He heard me talking all this shit. He's coming for my stream. I'm gonna let it write out real quick. Looks like my internet wants to act up. It looks like it's settled now. Are we good? Looks like we're good. Yeah, like I said, that was my boss. He's heard me talking shit. I know that he's watching. He's like, nah, I can't let this slander go on. But so I'm in charge of what was her name? Nala was her name, right? Nala, and I'm in charge of her, training her. She was kind of shy or whatever at the beginning, but right now she's good. We can leave her alone. She can do all the work by herself, and it comes out perfect. If she has questions, she asks me, or she asks anybody who's working with her if I'm not working with her now. And then Alexis, right? I haven't seen her as much. Whenever she works Monday, Tuesday, and then she works the night shifts. I work my morning shifts, so I literally only saw her maybe like 1 day out of the week. So I don't know how she was doing. Every time I would see her, I would say hi, you know, whatever. But I never had a chance to be one-on-one with her. Is the stream lagging again? What the heck? What's wrong with my stream? Where's my stream lagging for? My boss is coming back. He doesn't want me to talk about it still. It looks like it's getting better. So I'll continue the story. So then, what's today? Tuesday now? On Saturday. Right? Yeah, on Saturday. This has been happening for like 2 weeks now. I've been seeing Alexia a lot more, right? So she's been working. What's up with my stream? Why does it keep lagging? Watch, I'm gonna get my shiny when it's fucking lagging. It's gonna make for great content when no one can see me catch the shiny. Why is my... Let me see something real quick. Why is my internet deciding to shit the bed right now? 1 second. It's fine on your end? Huh. I wonder why it's like... Oh, mine says it's lagging. I guess if it's fine, then I'll continue. All right. So recently, I've been seeing her more on my shifts, and then my boss called me into his office. This is before I asked him about the raise and all that. So like tensions weren't high or anything. We're just chill about everything. He goes, "What do you think of now?" I've been at this point. She's been on my shifts for like I've been seeing her like 5 days, right? I started 5 days, not in a row, but roughly within 2 weeks, 5 days. So he was like, "Hey, how do you think she's doing?" And when I see her work, she looks like she's doing fine. Like she messes up every once in a while, but she's still relatively new. So I was like, "Yeah, Alexis is doing fine. Like she could use a little bit more practice, but you know she's only been here for a month and a couple days, like a month and a week or so. So I'm not really holding her against her." But he told me he was thinking about firing her, and I was like, "Fire? Did she do something wrong? Like, why you want to fire her?" And he said that, and this is when like what happened with this like came to me. I got reminded of it yesterday, and I kind of like, oh shit, this is why, you know, it makes me more upset. He said that whoever was teaching her, he didn't want to say names, but now I know who it was. By the time I did it, he said he put her with 2 teachers, right, or 2 mentors, and that they both said, she said, for what, like, she's still learning, calm down. But yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying. It was like, I know that you want everything to be perfect. That's understandable, you know. But it's only been a month and a week. You have to like give it time. And then he told me that he was thinking about firing her, and I said why. He said that he put her with someone to teach her, and that person said that she wasn't getting it, and it was too much of a hassle to teach her. So he said okay. So then he switched her to a different teacher. So he changed her schedule a little bit and put her like to midday instead of closing all the time. So now I would see her more often, but I still wouldn't work with her because when she came in, I was leaving. So then, but I would see her more often. And then that teacher, or that, yeah, I guess teacher, but it's more of I guess teacher, said the same thing. That was too much of a hassle, and they didn't want to bother teaching her any. Well, that's not that many fucking encounters. See, that sounds like poor training. A person part her. That's her. That's where I'm getting at. So I was like, okay. So I'm assuming he asked me, right? So I'm assuming he's kind of like, hey, can you teach her? Because like what's her name was Nala, right? Nala. I taught her by myself. Like she was always with me. If I wasn't working, she barely worked, right? I think she only worked one day when I didn't work. But she only worked 3 hours those days. She didn't. But when she was with me, she worked a full 6-hour shift for starters. So, like he credited me to her, like her learning. So he asked me if I could help her, and I was like, yeah, for sure, no problem. I'm not gonna say no. Like if she needs help, I'll help her. So then I tell her, I let her know. I'm like, hey, Alexis, I know we've met before, but we haven't really talked that much. Hi, you know, my name is whatever, like your name is Alexis, right? Or in this case, her actual name. She's like, yeah. Like, okay, how you doing? Just talking to her, like trying to feel her out, see how she feels. And then at this point, she's like totally clueless that she's about to get fired, right? So I feel bad for her, right? Because I'm just like I'm pretty sure he would tell her like, hey, you're kind of on like parole right now. Make sure to pick it up, whatever. But like in my head, I'm like, they're thinking about firing her. She's still over here trying to do her best. So I'm talking to her, and then I start talking to her like, okay. And I'm talking about the work, how she would do certain things, this and this, right? And then we get to a part where she gets stuck, right? It's like, okay, you don't get it? She's like, no, I don't get how to do this here. Okay, cool. How did the other people teach you? And then when I told her, what did they tell you to do? And then when she told me what, like, she tried to explain to me what they said, but she couldn't really, like, when she told me, I didn't get what she was trying to do, right? So I was like, huh. I was like, can you try? So they told you to do this and this, and she was getting confused. So then I was like, okay. So this whole part, she doesn't know how to do. And I know that I do that part of the work a certain way compared to to the two people who are training her. The two people who are training her do that certain part of the job. They both do it the same way, and that way is like kind of complicated, right? But I do it an easier way, and I teach it that way because it's easier to comprehend, and the way they do it isn't necessary. So let me guess. They didn't teach her. They had to. So they intended to. They have asked it. She got in trouble. Basically, it's basically what they did. So I was like, okay. So what they did was they taught her. So it's like me explaining to you, like Pokemon. I'll use this for instance. To say like, you have no idea how to play Pokemon, right? So then I'm like, okay, the way you catch Pokemon is, you have an encounter, right? And then you have to hit him with 2 moves every time, but you know, it's not always like that. You don't always have to do it that way. So I was like, whenever in this instance, you hit him with scratch twice, and then you have to come into your bag, and then you have to use a Premier Ball, right? But there's Pokeballs. There's other ways to do it. But they were just teaching her like, no, you have to. I make sure you use scratch twice. Don't use any other ones. Don't worry about those. Use scratch, and once you use scratch, come into your bag and use one of your Premier Balls. Which I'm not gonna say it won't work, but obviously, like as you know, Pokemon, like in this instance, you have 4 moves. You can use all the moves in different number of moves, different type of Pokeballs, right? There's multiple ways to do the job. And they taught her one way, the way they do it, which is obviously a little more complicated than other ways, and she didn't get it, right? And instead of saying, you know what, she doesn't get it, and then try to teach her a different way, they just kept pushing it on her, like, no, try to do it like this. They try to keep explaining it to her, like, hey, okay, no, try it again. And then she wasn't getting it, right? So, and then her, instead of like being like, okay, I don't get it, how many kids, she just said, okay, I get it, just to avoid it, because she spent, apparently, after I talked to her, after that shift was over, I spent like an hour after work, like off the clock, I talked to her off of work, and she basically told me that she told them she got how to do it because she spent 3 days trying to learn it. Not like 3 full days, but like three shifts, right? Trying to learn that part, and she just couldn't get it. So I was like, why'd you tell them that you got it? And they were just like, I said, a good teacher knows you need to teach different ways to ensure everyone understands, that everyone learns differently. Exactly. So then I was like, so why did you tell them that you knew it? And she goes, well, if I can't get that part, maybe if I, do the rest, she said, maybe if I move on, try to learn the rest, I can come back to it and learn it better or understand it more. Which is, yeah, reasonable. The thing is, like, you have to do that always to start off before you do anything else. So if she doesn't get that, it's kind of hard for her to do anything else right. Because she messes up there, and then she tries to do something else, like that mess up affects all the other stages, right? But then, so I was like, okay. I was like, and then at this point, like, this is still during the first shift, right after he told me to help her. I was like, okay, just forget everything they taught you, and then pretend today's your first day. Pretend you don't know anything about this job, right? I'm gonna teach you the way I taught Nala, and see if that helps you. So I take it slow. I'm literally there by her side for her whole 3-hour shift. I'm there, right, helping her the whole time, just not doing my work. Like I'll catch it up later. I can make it up later. I'll hop her out real quick. Cause I feel bad for her. Like she's gonna get fired for something that she can't control, right? Like if someone teaches you wrong and they don't want to teach you another way, like how are they supposed to learn? If the 2 teachers you get are both didn't teach it right to you. So I'm like helping her, and I'm like, alright, forget it. I teach her my way, and I can kind of see that she gets it now. Cause my way is a little bit like, for like instance, like in this fight, I would just say, it's very like how Pokemon. Instead of saying use 2 moves, Pokeball, I would mix in this context. I would be like, hey, just lower the health until it gets red, and throw a Pokeball. Like I like really made it not complicated, and she's like, okay, I kind of get it now. This makes more sense. So now, I'm like, okay, and I do it, and I helped her with like 2 or 3 more times, and then I was like, do it on your own. and try. I'm gonna be here with you, but just try it, and I'll let you know if before you mess up, if you're gonna mess up, and how to fix it. And then I spent the next 2 hours just repeating it over and over again. This is how you do that. Now you try it. This is how you do that. I literally just held her hand the whole time, just taking her to the job. So she, and I was like, if you have any questions, it doesn't matter if you ask me 30 times. Just ask me the question. I'd rather you ask me the question than for you to be like, oh, I get it, and then move on, and then for it to affect your job later on. I was like, you're not gonna annoy me. I have 3 siblings. 2 of them are younger. One of them is older than me. I get bothered enough. You're not gonna bother me. I trust. Like I got you will not annoy me. And she was like, well, I don't want to annoy you. I'm like, it's fine. Don't worry. Just ask me. And then she was asking me all her questions. Whenever she didn't get it, I'm like, let me make sure you tell me that you don't get it, so I know how to help you. So then within those 3 hours afterwards, she clocked out, and she was like, in those 3 hours, I learned more with you than I did with them for that whole month or so. And that was, I was like, well, and then that's when I learned everything else. I was like, after we both clocked out at the same time, and I walk her to her car, and I'm just talking to her, and I spend like an hour outside by her car, just talking to her, like how like she feels about the job, like what had happened. And that's why I learned that they said do it like this, and this is the way you're supposed to do it, and there's no other way to do it. And she didn't get it. And I learned that she was doing it for 3 days or 3 shifts, 3 of her shifts, and she couldn't get it, so she just said she got it to avoid the question. And then what I also found out was, instead of like helping her the whole time, they would be like, okay, this is how you do it it on your own, and then they would leave. So if she did have questions, they weren't even there for her to ask. So I was like, I can kind of see why she gave up after 3 days. Like, you know what? Because if you're struggling on a problem by yourself, and you know someone can help you, but they're not there, like later on, you're not gonna want to ask them for help later. He said, yeah, why were they? Yeah, they were shit trainers. Honestly, they need to get slapped for setting her up to fail. Yeah. Yeah, and these are the people who are getting paid the 20. And this is why I found out. I asked her who was, because my boss didn't say names, and I'm assuming it's so we don't find out who trains who. But if you ask around, hey, did you train her? No. Did you train her? No. Did you train her? No. Did you train her? Oh yeah, I did. Oh no, but I saw so and so trainer, right? But I asked her, who was your trainers? And lo and behold, it's the man. He said, I report up to management, so it's not their serious to ensure people get poor training. Well, would you believe it? That it was the management that was giving her the training. So I would. I can't really report it to management when management was the one that was giving them the training. So, yeah, it was the 2 people on top who was getting paid the 22 and the $20 an hour. That was the one training them. And like I understand, some people, like if they were doing their best at training her, and she just didn't get it, and she was trying her best, and she knew, what, I just don't get it. That's different. Like, okay, some people just don't get certain things right, or sometimes you want certain things done a certain way, and if they don't get it, I guess it's somewhat more reasonable. But whenever you're training them in a shit way, and you expect perfect results, it's like, what are you doing? So that's not my in the hour in the parking lot, I was talking to her about it. That's when I found out who it was, what they did, and I was just like, okay, so it's not really her fault. I don't think she should take the blame for this. So then I went back the next day. She didn't work, right? So then I came into the office, and I was talking to my boss, right? And like I said, this is all before the tensions were high or anything. Who knows? Maybe if it was this past week, it would have been worse. But I go in and ask him, like, hey, so like, what did the other people tell you? Like, what did they tell you that she was messing up on? And they're just like, oh, it was just that, she's not listening, she's not following directions, and then there's a lot of mess ups in her work. And I'm just like, okay. But yesterday when I was working with her, I walked her through it. She did a couple by herself. It worked out. She did them pretty good. Like, they weren't perfect, but for someone who was here for a month, I would say they're pretty good. Like, they're almost as good as Nala's, who I train personally, they're almost on the same level now. And I only spent 3 hours with her, so I was just like, I didn't see the problems that they saw, right? So then and he was kind of like, oh well, you know, but there was 2 of them, and then I was just kind of like, I don't know, I like with me and the boss, and not even just me and the boss, our boss, he's like very casual. He doesn't expect us to talk to him professionally. Like he's not like, oh sir, this whatever. He talks to us like a person. But I don't know, man. Like, he'll talk to us like I don't know, man. I feel like I don't know how I feel about her. So I just told him, I was like, I don't know. From what I saw, it looked like she was a good worker. She just needed to be taught better. And then he was like, what do you mean taught better? And I was like, from what I saw, she was struggling. And like this, he didn't know I knew who it was, and I didn't want to reveal that I knew who it was yet. So I was like, I don't know. From what I saw, I feel like whoever was teaching her didn't teach her right, or didn't want to put in the effort into teaching her, and they gave up on her too quick. Because with the 3 hours I spent with her, I see that she can actually do the job right. So I don't know what you guys see. He goes, I don't know. I think I need to have a talk with her, whatever. So I was like, you know what? And then I was like, you know what? I'm gonna try to help her out. So I told him, I was like, you know what? Give me a week, like not like actual just a week, but 7 full shifts, 7 days of actual shifts with her to train her. And if you still don't like her work, you can you can do whatever you want. But I was like, I told him, I was like, I just think that the people who were training her were lazy, or they didn't want to train her, or they didn't want to put in the effort to actually give her good training. And I was like, I didn't like, and he kind of like, he was gonna say like, oh well, you know, the people who train her are pretty good workers. But I was like, I don't know. But the way they're training her, it doesn't look like they're good workers. And I just told him, I was like, just give me a week, give me 7 days with her, and if I can't help her, you know, bring up her her work level like to what you somewhat acceptable, it's like I don't want to say go ahead and fire her, because I'm not trying to throw her under the bus like that. But I was like, give me a week with her, give me 7 days with her, and then if it's not there, you can take whatever actions you want. But I think firing her right now is too early of a call. And he was like, oh well, we'll see. And then later that day, he came back and he told me, he goes, all right, I switched her. She's gonna be with you on your next 7 days of shifts. So, cause right now she's only working Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So not only did they're planning on fire her, they also cut her days. So instead of working Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then from Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, she worked 4 days out of the week. At night, instead of doing that, now she only works 3 days out of the week, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, for 3 hours. So they cut her hours a hella. So I was like, how do you expect her to learn like everything you want her to learn when you cut her hours, and the people who are training her don't want to train her anymore? So I was like, okay, just give me. So then we switched her, and that was that. He told me that he's gonna switch her to me the day it was on a Friday. That's the day I got paid, and that's the day I found out the whole check. So then Saturday, Sunday were the first 2 days. This past Saturday, Sunday were the first 2 days I had working with her, and like actually putting like 4 hours of effort in on her shift. So I got 5 more days with her. But now also we have like the whole like tension of me like not putting the full effort that I already the full effort that I used to put in, because of the whole pay. So I was like, I don't want my problems to affect her job. So recently I've been kind of like pedaling back. I know it's not like it's not a good look to like almost stand my ground, not gonna work anymore. But I don't want want him to be upset with me and take it out on her. So I've been like, so yesterday, on Saturday and Sunday, it's 2 days ago, yes now, I've been doing more work. I've been like putting more effort into it. So just in case like he gets upset about me, he doesn't take it out on her. He says, sounds like bad management. They already made up their mind. That's kind of why that's why I'm helping her out. Because it's kind of just like the management, like I know the management isn't bad, right? Before this, I don't know if But I don't know if something's going on because the two people who are on top, the two management people, they're related, right? I believe they're stepsisters now. So they're related. So I don't know if something's going on in their life that they're like, maybe they have like some problems going on, or they just don't want to deal with the hassle of training someone new. And if that's the case, then I think they should have told someone, hey, you know, told our boss, like, hey, I don't feel like I can train someone right now. Can you give it to someone else? Because the people who train is them two, myself, and then my friend who is also the other shift manager. So there's 4 trainers. So if them two are dealing with some family problems or something, they could have told him, hey, can you give it to the other guy? And that would have been better. But like, man, this is like the first time with them that it's been like bad. And usually they're really understanding, they're really good workers. So that's why I feel like it might not be like, maybe they have a grudge against her. Like I don't know, I can't explain it. I don't know what it is, but it could just be that they're like, oh, they gave up at this point. So I stuck out my neck for her. I was like, hey, you know, let me train with her. But then I told her, I was like, hey, you know, I let her know, like I didn't, like I feel like if I was in her position, if I was about to get fired, and someone new that wasn't like part of the management team or the people or the boss, I would want someone to come to me like, hey man, you're about to get fired, like get your shit together. Like if I was fucking up, like in her situation, she wasn't really fucking up or anything. Like if I was messing up and I was about to get fired, and someone new that wasn't part of like the management team or something, and I would want them to come to me like, hey, get your shit together, and like you're about to get fired. And then in my head I could be like, do I want to keep this job, yes or no? So on Saturday before we started working, I met her out in the parking lot again, and I was like, hey, I'm gonna tell you something. You know, I'm not telling you this to make you feel bad or anything. I'm just telling you what I know and what I think is gonna go on. So I'm here to help you. I'm trying to let you keep this job if that's what you want. So I told her like, our boss told me that he's thinking about letting you go because the two trainers that were training you said that it was too much of a hassle and that they don't think you can cut it in this line of work, right? And I was like, okay. And she was kind of upset, and I was like, I know. But I was like, on Friday after I worked with you, I told him to put you on my shifts and let me train you. And I was just like, I'm gonna put in the effort to help you. But I was like, all I need from you is for you to be 100% honest. If you don't get something, let me know. If you need help with something, let me know. If you ask me 30 times and you're like, I don't want to ask you 31 times, ask me 31 times. Like, I'd rather have you like ask me so many times and you try to move on, not get it, and then when he comes down and asks you for your work, it's messed up. Which obviously, you know, if someone tells you, hey, you're about to get fired, you're not gonna go into work all happy and cheery. So that day was kind of like a more serious, gloomy day. But then Sunday, she bounced back, and then I told her, like, if you want to keep the job and you want to put in the effort, I'm here. You know, I got you. I'll back you up. I'll push you wherever you need to be pushed. Let me know. But if you're kind of just like, you know what, because like at this point, I had that sour taste in my mouth of like, do I really want to keep working here? So I can only imagine how she felt. You know, she's barely started off, and she kind of got like fucked over by the two people in charge. So I was like, if you want to keep the job, if you want to keep the job, if you want to put in the effort to, you know, get into, like, show them you can't do the work, I'm here and I'll help you. But if you kind of just like, if you want to look for a new job, and if you want to do whatever, that's on you. I'm happy for 7 days, but if you don't want to keep the job, I can make these 7 days pretty easy for you. We'll just do the basics, get it done, so you're not tired, do whatever, you get paid and you're out of here. Whatever you want to do. The only thing is, we live in a relatively small town, so like, I don't think there's not gonna be that many jobs available around here. So she said she wanted to keep the job. So that was on Saturday. Oh, that was on Sunday. I told her that. And she was like, I want to keep the job. I was, all right then. So now on Wednesday, we have Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. We have to next Sunday. I have until next Sunday to prove that she's actually a good worker. Which, from what I've seen so far, it's not that hard. So it's basically, I'm gonna tell him though, like, hey, it wasn't that she was a bad worker, you just didn't have good trainers on her. And it's kind of just like that, plus the raise thing with me, like it's been leaving like a big, like sour taste in my mouth about the job. Like I said, we live in a fairly small town, so any other job I would get around here or anywhere near here it's gonna pay minimum wage. So I'm just gonna knock down my pay and like start from the bottom of the ladder. But I've been thinking, I called a meeting for relatively soon. Said I throw those trains under the bus. They effed up, yeah. That's what I want to do, but I don't want to. Like, I believe in her, and I feel like she's gonna do. I feel like Alexia's gonna do good. But I kind of want to show them, you know. I feel like it'll be better to show them than just tell them. Like, be like, hey, you see how you guys said she was untrainable? It was too much of a hassle. You just had her for a month and a few days. I trained her like better in 7 days. So I think that reflects more on you guys than them. So it's not just me talking, you know, because sometimes like I feel like if I were to tell them, hey, you guys fucked up, and tell the boss like, hey, they're just bad trainers, it's my word against theirs. And obviously they have seniority. They've been here for, I think one of them was been here for almost 16 years and the other one like for 10. So they've been here for a while. So like obviously, like logically it would make sense that they're have more experience than I do, right? But the thing is, one of them taught me, right? So if they taught me, and I kind of know like their teaching style, so that's why I was kind of like interested in it. Cause I was like, even when they taught me, I kind of struggled with it a little bit because they kind of teach kind of weird, but I didn't think it was gonna be that bad. But I am gonna I guess throwing them under the bus is the right term. But I'm gonna do it after on this following Sunday. But like, here you go. Here's all the work we did in a week, and she's doing better than you did with a month. So I was like, I don't know if you want. And maybe, yeah, they're good workers, but maybe they're not good trainers. So maybe you should take them off of that. Don't let them train other people, because we have gone through other new people, but either they've quit or they've gotten fired. So who knows? And like now, in retrospect, you know, thinking about it now, was it because they didn't like the job, or because they got shit trainers? Because some of those people I didn't train, right? The 3 people that I have trained, they're still working there. The other people, I don't know. You said maybe assess their abilities and change the roles. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like maybe like, because who knows? Like from what I've seen, they're really good workers, right? Like doing the work, they're great. That's fine. But like they're not. From what I've seen so far this past week, is that they're not great trainers. Well, maybe, you know, because they have trained other people who still work there, so maybe they're great trainers. But it's like, if you get it, they're not really good at just teaching anybody. They're good at teaching specific type of people, like people who get their method of doing stuff. If they get it, they're gonna be good, which is great. You know, some people learn that way. Like how you said earlier, like I was explaining to one of my coworkers, is like, why would you try to keep throwing her the same information if it wasn't sticking? You have to be like, okay, I taught her this way, she still didn't get it, let me try to switch it up. That's where I was like, come on guys, it's like common sense that you don't just keep throwing, like, it's like what's that one quote? It's like the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. Like they just expected it to be like, okay, I'll just teach her the same thing over and over again, and eventually she'll get it. But it doesn't always work that way. But yeah, that's the beef. That's the beef I've had at the workplace. Like I said, the whole race thing isn't that big of a deal. Yeah, obviously it kind of like, it makes me kind of feel like it makes me feel upset, because I was like, damn, it was just like easy labor for him, easy labor, and then less pay for what it's worth. So I was just like, that hurt. And then just having like, and I feel bad for Alexis in this scenario, because like It's not her fault. She had nothing to do with it. Like like I said, I understand if she was being a pain in the ass, she didn't want to learn, she wasn't doing it on purpose. That's understandable. If she was doing that, go ahead, let her go. But like when I was talking to her, I can see that she was actually trying. She was trying to get it, but she just couldn't get it. So you said it sounds stressful. Yeah, it's been pretty stressful. It wasn't. This past week and a half has to be good for my anxiety. They're fucking no panic attacks or anything, but it's been pretty close. I have a little fidget that you squeeze in your palm. I broke that shit on Saturday. Just squeezing it at work and it popped. And I was like, okay, I gotta relax. I gotta start chilling out. It's a job, but it's not that serious. Like, if I need to, like, if I do get fired or if I do get let go or whatever, or I do get tired of being at work, I can't find other jobs. It's not like I don't have other options, but I prefer to stay at a level where I'm at right now with a certain pay. But if push comes to shoves, I don't have a problem leaving. But yeah, that's the stress. That's the beef. That's what it's been going. That's why I didn't stream this past week. Cause usually I usually stream Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Saturday, and Sunday. He said it's a job, not a career. Always another opportunity, but it never hurts to. So yeah, exactly. It's just like if it was my career, that'd be a little bit different. But it's just literally a job to pay bills, pay for my education, and pay for any YouTube things that I need to buy or anything like that. That's literally what it's for. So it's not too big of a deal. But yeah, all that stress had me fucking not want to stream for a week, because I streamed on Sunday. Then I took Monday, Tuesday off, Wednesday and Thursday. I didn't stream until I went a whole week without streaming. It's just because of that shit. I was like, damn, I don't know if I want to keep doing that shit. But hopefully, excuse me, hopefully I can prove them wrong and show that they were in the wrong and not her. So I mean, I get that sometimes you need a break. Yeah, it was stressful, but since I've been taking a more laid-back approach at work, the stress has been slowly going away. Now it's just crunch time with Alexis, trying to figure this out. I think it's just like I believe this is her first job, which makes me feel even worse, because like if this is her first job and that's what she has to deal with, like fuck it, like damn. That's like very, I wouldn't say not traumatizing, but it's kind of like damn, her first job and she gets fucked over like this. That's all bad. But the thing is, with the two management people, like I'm really good friends with them. That's why like this caught me by such a surprise. Like these people who I was really good friends with, like I said, hopefully not like I hope for something bad for them and the family to happen, but hopefully it's an external thing that like they were just put under some pressure and they made some bad choices and like, they fucked up and they realized it afterwards. Hopefully it's not like this is just how they are and they've just been hiding it for such a long time, which could be true, happens all the time. But from what I've seen, they tend to be good people. But with this previous experience or now with this, I don't know how much of a good person or people they are. But yeah, that's what's waiting me back at work. Tomorrow's my last day off, so after that I have to go back to the grind. Just continue busting out all that work I need to do. Kind of stressful, but these streams help me relax. Recording videos, editing videos helps me release some of that stress. Especially going to the gym, hitting them weights, does wonders for the stress. Use out all that stress and anxiety to push through all those exercises. But yeah, that's the venting. Hopefully it wasn't too, I wouldn't say bitchy, but it wasn't too complaining for you. I know you probably came here for some entertainment and you got hit with all this stress and beef at work Oh, it might work. Still no shiny Shinx though. This time around, a little less. I don't know. I feel like I'm having better luck on top than I did at the bottom. Yeah, I feel like I'm running into less Shinx because in an hour and 40 minutes I've read. I guess technically the Bidus or the Badu. I've gone through the 2 encounters, which is pretty good. I probably missed a couple here and there, but I feel like the shiny Shinx is gonna be forever elusive. I feel like we'll probably get another shiny before we get that. I feel like I'll go maybe like what 3 more days on the Shinx, and I'll put Shinx on the back burner and then focus on other Pokemon, so I'm not burnt out on the Shinx. Because I'm not gonna lie, Shinx is getting kind of annoying at this point. But yeah, like, actually, talking about that, laying all that out, kind of just helped with some of the stress. So, thank you for listening. You said Shinx is just saying no. Hello, did you do the Diggly thing? I did do the Diggly thing. I did it, I think, twice, and no luck. Shinx is just not gonna have it this playthrough. Yeah, well, I think we're pretty close. Let me look around, see if I can get a quick full Diglets real quick, see if we can do another run at it. Because I'm getting tired of running in circles with no luck. He said, honestly, sometimes you just need to help you relax. Yeah, that is true. It helps. And seeing that most of the people I talk to now are all coworkers, and the coworkers are the problems. I haven't had this small fear that I don't want to trade anything. Yeah, seeing how like most of the people I talk to usually throughout the day are my coworkers, but this time around the coworkers are the problem. It's not helping. So I haven't really had anybody to talk to. So I hear the Diglett. So it helped a lot. Yeah, but the Shinx, I feel like, you know what I realized? I have really bad luck with electric Pokemon. On my 3DS, I was doing a shiny only run. I said can't vent to coworkers, but they had the issue. Yeah, it's funny. Like even if I do vent to them, what if I vent to them and they fucking go tell the boss? Hey bro, it was fucking bitching about how you do this, and then it just ends up worse. Or I know my boss has cameras, and they're all the time in the place. So like, what if I'm complaining if he didn't know the camera? It gets worse. But that's where I talked enough about that. Move past that. I'll give you an update next Sunday if we'll see what happens, or maybe sooner if anything big happens. But I feel like we can do it. I feel like we can prove them wrong. I don't think it's not gonna be that hard. But what was I saying? Oh, on my 3DS, I have Soul Silver, the DS game, and I'm doing a shiny only run on there. And let me see if I can pull it up. Let me show you. Let me see. Where is it at? Let me pull it up real quick. I guess I can add another one. Let's see. I didn't see if it was shiny. I don't think it's shiny though. Let me just check before I run away. No, it's not. Let me see. Here is a quick little peek at what I do on my free time before I was streaming and making videos. I was shiny hunting just on my own. As you can see there. He said, hopefully you get your raise and she keeps her job. I hate for her to lose it due to incompettent managers. Yeah. As you can see here, I'm covering the gameplay with my Chrome. This is what I used to track. What the hell? This is what I used to track my shinies, and I have my collection so far. So shiny Eevee. I have a. This is all the shinies This is all the shinies I have that aren't in Arceus and aren't in Sword and Shield, because these are the ones I've actually hunted for. So the Soul Silver ones I have are Zubat, Cyndaquil, and Sudowoodo. And Celebi is from Pokemon Crystal. This one, I've seen people go like thousands of tries for Celebi, but for shiny Celebi, it only took me 35 minutes, 39 attempts. Sudowoodo took me 20 hours and 1,000. Zubat is the funniest, and like I've shown my friends this, and they tell me that I'm lying. I'm just like, I'm not, but I can't prove it because it's, this is on my own time. This was streamed, it was all on my DS. But as you can see, yeah, RNG was on my side with the shiny these. But then as you can see down here, you zoom in. This Mareep, 63 hours and 45 minutes, 4,300 resets or encounters, and no shiny Mareep. So we get from, so it's like, and it's an electric type, and then over here with the Shinx, having so much trouble with another electric type. So I think what this means is from now on, I'm not gonna shiny hunt any electric types, because I don't know, I'm 0 for 2 on these electric types, because everything else, like, I'm all these I'm set. So like even like Cyndaquil, Fire Starter, Chimchar, Fire Starter. It's just like, come on, like, it's not, it's proof's in the pudding, it's there, it's right there. I'm not gonna have luck with this. I'm not an electric trainer. It's not gonna bode well for me for this Shinx. And then even Shaman, shiny, I got in this game. You know how I don't know the freaking Oaks ladder, the key item we got for that event. I shiny hunted Shaman. I think it's on a different website. I shiny hunted the Shaman, and it only took me like 30 minutes to get shiny Shaman, and I had it at my Pokemon home, just right there chilling. But yeah, but electric types, nah. I've been going at it for like 63 hours on the Mareep, and almost, what is this, day 11. I do around 2 hours, almost 22 hours on, a little bit over 22 hours on the Shinx. Still no luck. I don't know. I'm gonna give up on these electric types. This Shinx is doing me dirty. But that's the reason why I put a pause on. I put a pause on the Soul Silver run, because I was like, I'm not gonna keep trying to get this Mareep. Like, it's not even worth it at this point. Like, the only reason why I'm Mareep was because the majority of my team that I picked was gonna be pink, and I was like, oh, Mareep's electric type. Ampharos is pretty good, I guess. One of the better electric. I think second best in the generation. So I was like, they're alright, and it also happens because Wooper's gonna be pink. Mareep's gonna be pink, and then which Eevee did I pick? I think I picked Umbreon, but I think 4 out of the 6 are gonna be pink Pokemon, so I was like, I might as well make it 5. But yeah, no luck on that one still. Same thing with this freaking Shinx, no luck. It's almost 1:30. I think I'm gonna call it at 1:30. But yeah, that was a pretty eventful, like, venting stream, just talking about my problems. But yeah, just talking about all that shit. I can't wait to get back to work on Wednesday to deal with all that. Have to deal with all my coworkers. But the only thing is, like, the 2 managers don't know, like, we're beefing. They don't know what's going on. All they know is that she got switched around. They probably think she got switched around because they complained to the boss about it. So little do they know, I'm using it as ammo to throw her to the bus. I'm not trying to get them fired, but I'm trying to get them like, hey, shape up because you're slacking. I think that's what it is. I think they've become complacent. Like, they've been on top for so long, and like no one has said anything to them in such a while. Like, I don't think I've ever seen them get in trouble. So I think that's what's happening. They just got complacent and they got comfortable. They said, you know what, I don't want to deal with a new person. I don't want to deal with all this hassle. So I'm just gonna like shrug it off, and if she stays, she stays. If not, it's not my problem. I feel that's what happened. But if I play this right, maybe they can get a pretty hard slap on the wrist and wake them up. I feel like I'll just hit this Diglett combo if I run into more Diglets, and then we'll end it off after there, because I'm not trying to do too much of this. This Shinx is running me dry today. No luck. I barely ran into any. I think I ran into what? We started off with 505. So 20 Shinxes in an almost 2 hour stream. Shit's crazy. He said, I think it's because they think they're untouchable, they can get away with it. All they're doing is making someone refuse to work under them. Yeah. That's like the thing too. I completely agree with you. And like I say, she does, like if she does stay, like it's gonna be like I don't know if she's like a spiteful person. You know, I literally only talked to her now for like 4 days in a row. So I don't know how she is. Yeah, if she's like a spiteful person, like, and she stays and she proves that she can actually work, like it's gonna be rough. Cause like if they're the management, whenever she has a problem, or whenever something happens, she's gonna have to talk to them. And it's gonna be like that situation. Let me try to roll Shinx into the cave before we run into the Diglett event thing. Yeah, it's like if she does stay, and now they're in charge of her, I don't know how that's gonna affect her work. I don't know if she's gonna, like, if she holds it against them, I'm not even gonna blame her, because it's really fucked up what they did. So it's not even like you shouldn't hold it against them, but like you can't hold it against them too much, because like, if it affects your work, you're only gonna be proving them right that when they said that you shouldn't be working here. So I don't know, it's kind of fucked up, but we'll see what happens. I'm gonna try to do my best to support the people, you know, to support Alexis. And then it was not funny, but I don't know how to explain it. It's weird that when in that month I spent training what was her name, was Nala, right? Nala. I spent that month just training her. It was like smooth sailing. I clicked with her. I taught her things. She didn't get something, so I switched it up, whatever. And I just assumed Alexa was the same way. You know, I just get dumped all this like, hey, actually, she's actually gonna get fired. I'm like, holy okay. I guess, you know, I guess that's how it is sometimes, but nah, this time it isn't fair. I think by the time I get out of this fight, we should have found another Diglett and have the shiny. Do you know what odds you get when you do get the full thing? Is it? I don't think it's half, is it? I don't believe it's half. They cut the odds in half. I think it just cuts them a fourth down, which I don't remember. Oh, there it is. I don't remember exactly, but all I do know is I kind of picked the worst game to start with. I don't know if you know this, but in this game, if you're not using the Poke Radar or the Masuda method for hatching eggs, all shinies are full odds, because the shiny charm doesn't work in this game unless they fixed it. But when it first came out, because it didn't work in the original, it didn't work in Diamond and Pearl, and they just ported it over, changed the graphics, and I believe that if you get the shiny charm, it still doesn't work in this game. So you always have full odds on getting shinies unless you're using the Poke Radar or you're doing the egg hatching Masuda method, which is obviously, and this also I believe still has the 4,000 odds. No, 8,000. No, 8,000 is Soul Silver. This one has the 4,000, which is still not good or anything. But yeah, so I kind of picked the worst game to start shiny hunting, the ones that you can't unless you're hatching eggs or doing the Diglett method. It's not gonna improve your odds at all. But here we go. This is after this, I'm probably gonna call it a night. go ahead and get some sleep. I got a stressful week ahead of me. And get ready for the stream tomorrow too. A longer stream. Probably go like maybe like 4 hours or so. Also, I might start a little bit sooner. Probably like at 9 or 8. We'll see where it goes. Still no Shinx though. I guess what I do with the Badoo. Yeah, you're shiny. Nope. Try to farm those YouTube shorts. That's how you get new people following you. That's how I got a couple of my followers. With my Chimchar short, I got like that's how I got the original first boost of subscribers. So if you ever want to know how to get a crap ton of views on your channel and new subscribers, just make shorts. YouTube is really pushing them right now. Right now, recently, since you can actually get paid for them, people are doing more of them, so YouTube is just pushing more of them out. But the only thing is that I'm doing shiny hunting, so them clips are a few and far between. It looks like no luck today either. No shiny whatsoever. No Shinx. No Badoo. No nothing. There's a whole lot of venting, which it wasn't too bad. Let me just do a quick little run, see if we can do another encounter before it goes away. And then we'll call it a night. Let me see. Come on, spacious cave. I'm looking for a Shinx right now. Nothing. Nope. Let me see. Nothing. Guitar. Not enough for you. I don't need any more. Doof. More doofs. Still nothing. I just gotta load one in. Where all these Shinx is at? I think I had less luck getting Shinx in the underground than I did on top. And I think Shinx just happens to be more rare in the underground than it is in the overworld. So I think next time I'm gonna go back to the old faithful Route 202 and just continue to grab there. Usually in an hour we do around 50. So at this time, if I went up there, I would have been around 600 instead of just 525. It looks like no luck is into this. But do nothing? Okay. Alrighty. Let me just do one little quick run through the cave. Make sure I didn't miss a Shinx or anything in here. Okay, and then we'll call it there. Thank you, Kay, for stopping by. Hope you enjoyed the stream. Enjoy my little rant of my very precious and very good workplace. The healthiest place to work at. As you can tell from the stories I've told. I got more stories from there too if you want to hear more stories later on. Tomorrow, if you stop by. I got a hella stories to do with that place. They're some good, some bad. Some pretty funny though. But yeah, I think I'm gonna end it off there. It looks like I'm gonna hit the 2 hour mark. I was only intending to go for an hour. Let's go back up. But yeah, that was a decent stream, I guess. We talked about everything. Tired. I've been sitting in this chair all day today. Alright, so okay, that's gonna be it for the stream. Thank you again for joining me on this. I'm assuming it's late night for you, but at least it is for me. And this late night. Thank you for stopping by. Hopefully I entertained you for however long. I think it was like 2 hours, almost 2 hours now that you've stayed here. I appreciate the support. I appreciate you stopping by on my stream. You know, still enjoying your content. You know, gotta give you credit where credit's due. Still enjoy the content you're producing. Going back on your catalog. It helped me a lot today. I was watching, I believe, episode 2 of your X and Y streams. I was watching that while I was doing some homework, and doing the thumbnail and all that. I was watching those, or watching / listening to it. So thanks again for providing entertaining content for me to enjoy while doing my work, and hopefully I entertain you like you entertained me. Again, once again, thank you for stopping by. I know I said that 3 times, but like I said, I'm still kind of new to this. Feel kind of weird. I don't know how to say goodbye. I feel like every time I say goodbye at the end of the stream, it's kind of abrupt. I bye and I dip out, so I don't know how I'm supposed to say bye. So it's I feel like it's kind of too long-winded. So now I'm kind of stuck. Like it's either too long or too short. So I'll go ahead and fade the stream to black, and I'll catch you in the next one if I'm lucky to have you back. And if not, I hope you well. Hope you do well. Hope you have a great day, a great week. I'll catch you next time. Bye, Kay.